Great. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Terrace Lodge Redevelopment Fundraising Committee meeting on May 13th. I'd like to call the meeting to order at 4:33. Thank you, everyone, for being here on what turned out to be a very nice afternoon. On the agenda, now that we've called the meeting to order, I've got the approval of the agenda. Anything to change, add, delete? Not seeing any or hearing anything. So may I have the resolution, Catherine, please?
Resolved that the agenda for the May 13th, 2024 Terrace Lodge Redevelopment Fundraising Committee meeting be approved as presented.
Thank you. Now have a mover and seconder, please. Amaryllis moves, Jim seconds. All in favor? And that's carried. Thank you. Next is disclosure, the adoption of minutes from our April meeting. Any errors or omissions? Seeing none. Resolution, please.
Resolved that the minutes of the meeting held on April 15th, 2024 be adopted.
Mover and seconder. Jamie moves, Amaryllis seconds. All in favor? That's carried. Thank you. Next is disclosure of pecuniary interest. Anything to declare? Seeing none, we'll move to number 5 is delegations. I don't believe we have any today, which means we can move to reports and briefings. The first report is from the Director of Financial Services. Jennifer couldn't be with us this afternoon, but she did circulate her report earlier today. Did everyone receive it? The report dated May 12th. So we are now up to, I don't know if there's, it's showing the total donations towards the campaigns up to 376. So total donations at 407,917. I don't know if there's been an update. I know last time we were still finalizing the details from the gala. I don't know, Sarah, if there were any further clarifications, if that has been finalized?
We are still working through it. We're almost done, but where it says pledges on the report, and it's in red, the 25,000, that has been entered and reconciled. So the next report, it should be in black.
Wonderful. Black is what we're looking for. Excellent. Any other questions or comments on the latest update? I'm not seeing any. So, and again, as I mentioned last time, soon we'll start moving into the next phase where we'll create a separate report to start tracking purchases and tracking not only the money coming in, but also the money going out and the accountability that will go with that for our donors. So we're starting to get ready for that. That's good. So if there are no questions or specific comments about the let's see, the budget, but the financial report, then I'll take the resolution.
Resolved that the report titled Fundraising Financial Update from the Director of Financial Services Treasurer dated May 13th, 2024 be received and filed.
Okay, mover and seconder, please. Sarah moves, Jamie seconds. All in favor? And that's carried. Welcome, Wendy.
I apologize, Dominique. I'm on my phone because we've lost our internet.
Yeah, it's been one of those days. But no, I'm glad you can make it. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
technology and agility have to go hand in hand. In the reports and briefings, we also have listed the flower sale update. As you recall from our last meeting, we the South Dorchester Optimists had agreed to partner with us on their Mother's Day flower sales. So I know that was just yesterday, and I think the pickup was just Saturday. So I don't know, Sarah, if you have an update yet, or just how things went. And I'm assuming the financial update can come at a later date.
So we had a successful campaign. The total flower sales was about $2,100 approximately. We don't have a amount that is a portion of that for donation as of this time. But there were 63 items sold through that, and there were about 7 or 8 participants selling. So thank you everyone for your support, and I look forward to sharing how much is coming back to the campaign at a future meeting.
Excellent. Great news. Thank you again. And Jim, go ahead.
Yes, I just want to say that I picked up our flowers today at Sarah's place, and the geraniums, they were just beautiful. They weren't shriveled little things. They were a big basket full. So yes, thank you.
Sarah?
The Tilsonburg Garden Gate provided us with some beautiful flowers. So that helps the credibility of future plant sales that the Optimist Club runs. So it's with gratitude that we have shared their plants with everyone.
Great. No, we're very grateful for the partnership, and yes, that was a great purchase. Very fortunate for the quality that they provided. And yeah, someone mentioned you doesn't know the names of flowers. They were looking for pictures. So I don't know if, and I think the pictures of the baskets, who realized like these are really substantial and really good quality. I was quite impressed. So yeah, if you can add pictures to that sort of the sign up for sales sheet, that might help even more sales for next time. Yeah.
I was gonna say in colors. Yeah. I
Right.
thought it was white. I got purple, but they're beautiful.
I don't think there were any white
They were the
the million bells.
Mhm.
No, there weren't any white million bells either.
Yeah.
So
Okay. We learned a little bit each time, but yes,
it was a surprise package.
that's
But they were
right. One of those, yes. Fantastic. Well, very positive experience. So again, our much appreciation to the Optimist Club, South Dorchester. Excellent. So I don't think we need a resolution for that. Catherine,
No.
just a verbal update, and we'll get the final amount probably by our next meeting. Okay, so we'll move on to fundraising strategies. So again, we're looking at implementing a few more strategies for trying to wrap up the campaign. I had committed to finding out more about the possibility of a bowling tournament. So the team at Size is definitely on board, and the dates they are looking at are either so they're suggesting definitely waiting till September, so we have time to really promote the event and do whatever fundraising and sponsorships and stuff. So they're looking at if we want to do a Saturday is September 21st or 28th. So I wasn't sure if the committee had a preference. I know there's the Wardens tournament, the golf tournament, is that happening? Do we know this year? Or maybe not?
In progress? In progress.
Progress, okay. So I only mention it because I know sometimes it's towards the end of August. So I was thinking, even though, you know, a bit of a different audience, that we talked about definitely involving all of the municipalities this time and a representative from each council. So there might be some overlap, obviously, in attendance if there is a warden's event towards the end of August. So I was leaning towards the end of September, September 28th. But I just wanted to canvass everyone to see if what else is happening in the county on those dates. Jamie.
This, what time of day are you looking at?
So depending on the number of teams, we can, so if we have lots of teams, so sorry, I'm looking at my notes, we can have up to, so if we have 16 teams, for example, we could have a start date at 4:30 and one at 6:30. If we have half of that, if we have 8 teams, we can have just one start time. And the suggestion, well, then we can pick either 4:30 or 6:30. So the idea, and what has been done in the past is so we can have food available for all participants, and which can include, you know, the wings and pizza and nachos, but also they can do salads and crudités, and so it can be essentially a meal for all the teams, and then we can do a cover at the door to pay for those who are not playing, but then they would get a dinner and they can come and cheer on their team. And so that's why, so I mentioned that because typically, I mean, the food helps with also attracting people, and while people are not playing or different teams are waiting, but and he highly recommended a DJ. So they're having done other events, just then because the music can be heard in both sides in the bowling alley, but you can also do announcements and really pump up like sort of different, whatever it is we want to promote, and some friendly rivalries and updates on scores and stuff like that. And so the food is approximately, let's say, about $1,000. He suggested budgeting the DJ about 300, and the fee for the facility about 400. So yes, Amaryllis.
Just a note, the 21st would probably work better for myself and this West End, because the 28th is our Wallacestown Fair weekend. So that ties up much of council throughout the weekend. I know I volunteer from Friday straight through to Sunday. So,
yeah.
And I know other members of council also volunteer throughout the weekend. So just that note, but don't change it because of us.
Right. But that's why I'm asking that we want to look at options exactly for that, like just to try to make sure we're not overlapping with other significant events in the county. Is anyone aware of anything else happening on the 21st that would conflict with a potential tournament? Okay. So then we can decide during the event then if we want to do a silent auction as well. So we talked about doing that, and again, that's the other advantage for going for a little bit later in September, is giving us a bit more time to have really nice big ticket items for the silent auction, and hopefully finding a couple of sponsors who could cover the food and the DJ, for example. So the most important tonight would be to decide for sure if we want to go ahead. What I could do as far as finalizing the date, I can propose the 21st, and then my next step would be to canvass my colleagues on county council just to confirm that everybody is available, at least, you know, at least one representative would be available, and that there are no other major events in the county that would conflict with our event. So is there a general consensus then on going ahead? And I think we can, again, the other advantage of being a little bit later is position it as the sort of grand finale of the campaign, and as the last event, which is again the more reason to include all municipalities and to have everybody participating in this one last big event. So I would be prepared to take the lead on this, and working with my colleagues on council to recruit teams. Again, I asked sort of what has been done in the past in terms of like the entry fee. What we talked about, where should we start? Obviously, every number has been used in the past, but if it's $4,000 per team, so is not that outrageous. Again, if there's several months where each player, so to speak, is trying to raise $1,000 so that they can enter, so that would be the initial 7 teams from each municipality, and then of course we could decide then after that. Anybody else who wants to join could be $1,000, and they need, so each player raises $250, and so we could have a second team from a municipality, we could have a team from Terrace Lodge, we could have a team from different corporate sponsors, or basically any service clubs who, like, I think we could reach out to all of the partners and donors, and like I said, if we treat it as a bit of a celebration, and to come and join us for this fun tournament, and so we could have up to another 10 or 11 teams who could join at $1,000 entry fee. Jamie?
How many people are on a team?
4, although he did say that you can have 4 to 6 if you want, and then you just end up taking turns instead of the traditional 4 players per team. Yeah, I think he even said, I'm just looking at my notes, I can double check, but you can, I think, because it's all computerized, right? I think he said you can enter up to even 10 people. So it's just not everybody plays every turn. Jim?
I'm just a bit concerned that the $4,000 per team might, I'm just not sure how that will go over as far as getting people interested or not. I hope it does, but I can see that being a bit of a challenge.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Michelle? Oh. Jamie, do you want to go first, and then Michelle, I'll come back?
so am I correct that that 4,000 is for our municipalities, and that other groups can be less?
Yes.
The other groups would be, so municipalities would be 4,000 to enter, and the other groups would be how much?
Again, that's all up to us, but 1,000 was suggested.
Does that suit you better there, Jim?
Yeah, so 1,000, again, it might be depending on the group, but and even the 4,000, like I said, if 10 people can sign up, and it can be a combination, it could be council members or staff and members from the community. So you sign up to 10 people, then that's less money, a little bit less pressure on each individual to raise that amount. And remember, we're trying to also maximize the involvement of some areas of the county who have been a bit more difficult to reach. And so other clubs, other businesses, other individuals who have not been directly connected and have not had a chance to contribute yet. So I think that's why it might be feasible. I think it's worth a try to see if each municipality could, each municipal team. So I just want to be clear that we're not asking the municipality to give a grant.
No, the team, yeah.
The team from each municipality then would
Yeah.
have a few months to, use their own local supporters to sponsor the team. Michelle, you had your hand up.
Yeah, just a question, and some of my questions got answered. So the only one I had left in my brain was just maybe some fun prizes for the team with the highest score and the lowest score, booby prize or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, absolutely. So that's something we can bring as suggestion, and even suggested, like if Googling on the internet, like there are different categories that for, like they would do at a golf tournament or the
Yeah,
pin, or so they're the equivalent for bowling tournaments too, that we can reward seven,
Perfect.
not just the highest score.
yeah.
But,
It doesn't have to be anything major because it's a fundraiser, but I think it just adds some
yeah,
fun
it's really
spirit to
just
it. Yeah.
for fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
Could be the best outfit or for the team, the best hat. Emerald, and then Wendy.
The only thing I would suggest is that we make sure that we get it out to all of the service clubs in each area, because they often will put together teams, and 500 for a group like that would be, they would get that money together. So that would be a suggestion I would make, because service clubs often will support to go to events like this.
Mm-hmm. And is there some sort of master list of service clubs or in each municipality?
Well, we probably, if we kind of do a little reach out, we can probably find out, like, I mean, my local Optimist Club can tell me what other Optimist clubs, like, I know there's Port Stanley and Fingal, and so if we do a reach out to each club in the area, like Lions or
You're right.
Kinsman or whatever, I think they can give us a kind of a master list of who to contact for each in each area. And gosh, maybe we'll end up having to turn teams away.
Hey, nice problem to have.
Or they
It would
should
be a
blend
nice problem to
together,
have.
blend together so that.
That's right. We
that
can have
have
10
just a
people
bigger
on
team.
team. Exactly. So we can have a regional Optimist Club team. Great. Yeah, you're right. So if we contact at least one club, they usually know all the other clubs who are active and the contact information. So good idea. And Wendy?
I just wondered if it's when the service clubs, are they 500 or 1,000, and is it if they're doing it, do they get a receipt as a donation?
So the suggestion right now would be all other teams would be $1,000. And as far as receipts, that's a good question, just even for the amount in general. So we'll just have to, I can find that out. As far as the value, as you know, we often need to deduct the value of the event and the food and, anything else that is provided at the event. But, and I don't know if service clubs want a receipt or qualify to receive for their donation, but often what happens with the service club is that they would be then, it's not the club who would get the receipt, but it would be the donors who contributed to funding their team. So any donor in that case would definitely qualify, and we'll just have to see, I'll just have to clarify if we have to deduct a certain amount. Ideally, if we are able to have sponsors for like $1,700 in sponsors, then we can refund the full amount, because then the event would be taken care of. But we'll look into those details for sure. Okay. Sarah, yes.
So I know at the last meeting, I suggested having a, like the 4,000 or 1,000 shouldn't be like it. If someone fundraises over, there should be some incentive to do better than just the minimum, and have something to honor that contribution, a gag gift or whatever it might be, because it just encourages the competitive spirit.
Yes. Yes, so thank you for bringing that up. So the suggestion there would be, we can figure out the value of each dollar in points, and we can assign extra points. So obviously the game will be calculated, like the total through the computer, and then you can say for each dollar raised above the minimum, you get, I just need to do some math of what would be reasonable from a potential 300 point score. So maybe you get half a point for $100. You know what I mean? So we could assign extra points. So at the end, you total, typically to identify the winner, you would total the number of points scored for the 3 rounds. And so then a team could get extra points tagged on for that amount. So I think that would be fun because, yeah. Sarah?
So it wouldn't, your bowling ability would not hinder your success in the game.
There you go. You can compensate for your bowling ability by raising more money and then still be the winner of the tournament. I like that. That's how we'll promote it. So there are 2 ways to win. And that hence the need for also for fun prizes and where sponsors can help also. So for today, then, if there's agreement in principle for the sort of the broad strokes of the event, so we're looking at potentially September 21st with at least 7 teams entering at a $4,000 fee from each municipality, and then any additional teams for $1,000, and the committee. Your contribution again over the next few months would be mostly, so the fundraising, obviously each team will have to fundraise for their own entry, but our work would be to get silent auction items, as well as trying to sponsor as much of the $1,700 approximate cost of organizing the event. So is there general endorsement on that event? Okay. Catherine, do we need a resolution to proceed with that event? And there's a decision to invest a little bit of money and proceed with the organization of the event?
I've got one.
All right, of course you do.
Resolved that the Terrace Lodge Redevelopment Fundraising Committee plan a charity bowling tournament at Size Bowling Lanes and Lounge, tentatively scheduled for September 21st, 2024.
Great, mover and seconder. Amaryllis moves, Jamie seconds, all in favor? And that's carried. And let the fun begin. I wanted to then leave some room to discuss other ideas, if anything else has come up, and any other potential partnerships with other organizations or clubs. On my end, there was a suggestion, the Family Fun Day is happening in Springfield, June 15 or 16, I can never remember. And so last year we did have a table, and this year, and then we talked about potentially not doing any of the events at this stage in the campaign. But the suggestion was, but what if we sold chocolates? And if we package them, we still have an inventory of coloring kits. So Wendy looked into the cost of chocolates, and we talked about, getting out of the the chocolate business for the remainder of the event, and because it's a lot of logistics here in this case, it would be to try to have a draw and actually have a transaction that can take place, and the logistics would be less because it's just one location, and as opposed to distributing boxes and collecting money in multiple places. So again, it's just an option. We don't have to take that opportunity. Just wanted to run it by the committee. Jamie?
I think of all the events that we did that we actually sold chocolate at, how many chocolates did we sell? Wendy, do you know that answer? Which event sold the most? And at that event, how many were there sold?
So I can't remember the numbers, Jamie. I do remember Aylmer was a big one, and the Watermelon Fest in Stratfordville. And what was the one outside? Was that Springfield, the family day there, where there was the steam engine?
So it's just it's a lot of work to go and get the chocolates if we're only going to sell a few. And we're only doing it for one day. So that would be my concern, is that it's a lot of effort for little return. So unless there is other chocolates besides the smoothies. What is it called? Delicious or something? The schools sell it. I don't know how they go about it, but the kids seem to sell a ton of it. Where the mint smoothie is one specific thing and only attracts one group. So I don't know if there's something else that we could sell that would draw more people to it. Or if there's something that we can do to draw people to it. I just don't want Wendy to go through all that effort to go and get it and then be stuck with it again.
Yep. No, that's a good point. Is anyone aware of anything else, any other products? I don't know, from the same company or? Yeah. And like I said,
I haven't been to this event, so I don't know what other items they would be selling, but Snack Wacky, they do popcorn. And popcorn's appealing to children where mint smoothies are not, so that would increase our clientele.
yeah, Sarah.
So usually my Optimist Club does the breakfast in the morning, so I'm usually in the kitchen for most of it, but they have a lot of vendors who sell their wares, as well as bouncy tents and a petting zoo event that's also there. And the snack bar, I think, at the Springfield Hall is also open during that day, because there tends to be a ball tournament there during that time as well, usually. So it's a busy place. There's a lot of people coming through constantly until late in the afternoon. As well as they have an indoor event in the large hall for typically an entertainer. So I don't know if there's going to be an entertainer that brings popcorn or someone outside who's selling that. But I can find out from the organizers.
Yeah, I seem to recall that it's free popcorn, yeah. Even the little bags of popcorn, but we have to clarify if that's happening again. Like I said, we said that this year we would not focus on too many events, and only if there was, a specific opportunity and availability. So it's entirely optional. If it's not a good return, or if it's not really our main audience, then I'm perfectly fine passing the opportunity. And because yeah, it is work, whatever we decide to do. Wendy?
I would say the most that we sold were in the stores. That was and it was the easiest. But we worked, you worked pretty hard to get them sold, and then you worried about the sun when we were outside at some of the events, the heat.
Yep.
So it was and by the way, and forgive me this, I still have about $700 here to get over to St. Thomas to end that. I haven't made it to Terrace Lodge. That's my delay, and I apologize.
No worries, as long as you're hanging on to it. Yeah, I'm like I said, we had decided not to, or we had decided to conclude that part of the campaign and that strategy because the investment in the logistics and which, and Wendy, you did a lot already, so I think it will be best to stick with that decision. And if something else pops up, then again, open to suggestions, but right now we could focus our energy on the next few months towards the bowling tournament and getting, good sponsors and good prizes, and that we'll get a good return on that for sure. Anything else then? Any other strategies that have popped up? Jeannie?
There's still the Pampered Chef. And I meant to bring catalogs today, but nobody would, well, only Sarah would have been here to get them. So I don't know if you're interested in doing the Pampered Chef. I could see if there's a link that I could send out so that people can see what's available online, and you can just take the orders and find out. I know that she said if we do group orders, then we wouldn't have to do a shipping charge. So it would just be a matter of adding the taxes, unless it was a larger order, and then she would do that shipped out. So if you're interested, great. And if not, I'll just let her know that we're not.
Sarah?
Is it, so I've participated in Epicure ones before, and there's a link and you just tack on your order to that campaign that they're running. Is Pampered Chef capable of doing that?
Then you would have to, each individual would have to pay shipping, but
Okay.
but that's fine. She was just trying to save them money, that's all. So if you're interested, I can see if she has a link for us to do it. I don't know what you want to do there, so.
Right. Yes, I apologize if that we didn't put it specifically on the agenda, but yes, I think then we said last time I didn't follow up on just getting more specific information in terms of what's involved. And then we can make a decision for sure at our June meeting, one way or another, because I know you brought it up, you suggested it, and it looked like there is interest. We just need to understand a little bit more of the logistics of how and the mechanics of how it would work to do it as a campaign.
It would probably be easiest if she will set up a link. And then they can just not worry about not shipping and get it shipped out to the individuals. Because then we don't have to do all the work of getting it where it needs to go.
Okay, so we each
orders.
participate individually a little bit like the flower sale? Is that?
Sort of.
Yeah.
It would be us sharing the link with the people that would be interested in purchasing and them putting the order in themselves. I will, because that's how Epicure would do it. I'll see if that's possible.
Okay,
And I'll let you know at the June one.
And then it takes all the pressure off of each one of us individually trying to go out and get people.
We just have to send emails out of the link. If you're interested, place an order.
Yep.
Okay, I'll see if she will agree to that. And if she does, and I can get the link to you sooner, can we start it sooner?
I think so. If I'm looking around to see if there's support from the committee and
Okay. So
Yeah.
if she agrees to it, doing it this way, then I will just email everyone the link and they can have each person that send it out to your friends and your family and ask them to go to the link and place an order.
Yep, Great. So yeah, so there must be a way for them to code it so that they know where it's coming from, and then so it is.
Yeah, if they do it for Epicure, like they set up a party and then you order, the
True.
link will be to that party.
Wonderful.
And that's how Epicure works.
Yes.
I don't
Yeah.
know how
Yeah.
Pampered Chef works. I'll have to see if they're capable of doing that.
Perfect. Yeah, I think we should go ahead if
I'll
everybody,
call it an online party.
yes. Excellent, thank you. Jim?
Yes, I'm just about the end of my time here. Do you still have a quorum if I leave?
Yes.
Oh, that's good. You won't miss me then. It won't be quite gender specific though now, so
No, that's
thank you,
balanced.
folks. See you next time.
See you.
Bye.
See you, Jim.
Bye.
Great. Wendy?
Just a question, but, and I probably got this wrong, but is it this year that Aylmer's are, is it this year is the big celebration for Aylmer? A birthday or something? Did I get that wrong?
Oh, it's Christine. Yeah, there's 150 anniversary for our fire department.
Oh,
but
okay, okay, I've gotten it wrong. That's
Maybe
okay.
Port Stanley, I think this year is planning additional activities. It's their 200th
Yes,
anniversary of Port Stanley, so you may have read something around that.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, so if there's nothing else then specifically on other fundraising strategies, happy to go into closed meeting for a quick update on specific donor outreach with the resolution.
Resolved that we do now proceed into closed meeting session in accordance with the Municipal Act to discuss the following matters under Municipal Act Section 239-2. Closed meeting item number 1, closed meeting minutes, April 15th, 2024, and closed meeting item number 2, donor outreach update, which is under Section B, personal matters about an identifiable individual, including municipal or local board employees.
Mover and seconder, please. Sarah moves, Jamie seconds, all in favor? That's carried. Okay, we're now back from a closed session. They have the resolution.
Resolved that we do now rise and report.
Mover and seconder. Amaryllis move, Jamie seconds, all in favor? That's carried. And next, I believe, is just a date of the next meeting, or is there, no, there's another resolution for the report and the discussion from closed session. Go ahead.
We have 2 more. So first
Two
the
more.
minutes. So resolved that the April 15th, 2024 closed meeting minutes be adopted.
Mover and seconder, please. Amaryllis moves. Sarah seconds, all in favor? That's carried.
And resolved that the confidential donor outreach update be received for information.
Mover and seconder, please. Jamie moved, Wendy seconds, all in favor? That's carried. Thank you. And now for the date of the next meeting. If we can find Monday in June. So potentially June 10th or 17th. No preference, Sarah? Do you have a preference?
I would prefer the 17th.
Yep, so that gives us a bit more time for all the action items. Any object?
I can't make the 17th.
Oh, no.
I won't be back from Hamilton. Well, I might be able to, but I can't promise.
Sarah, is the 10th a possibility? I guess it,
I will have house guests at that time, so that, and special house guests, so I wouldn't be able to attend on the 10th.
Okay, does the committee want to entertain a different day? Or I know Mondays tended to work in general, but there's nothing in our terms of reference that requires a Monday.
Tuesday?
I can't do Tuesdays or Thursdays, or
Right.
the second or third or Wednesday. And I wouldn't.
Do you
be able
want to just,
On the
The
17th, yeah, or the 24th, you're right, because we don't have any imminent event, so we can move to the 24th or the 17th, move to a little bit later, which I know is a bit more difficult for staff. I don't know if Jamie, the timing has an impact on the 17th, if it was later.
I should be done classes, so on the 17th. Oh, I'm done the wrong day. So my appointment's at 2, 3. Yeah, if it was at 6, I could probably make it.
Okay, so let me put it back to the committee. So 6, like I said, it sounds like it's doable. It is more difficult for staff. So the alternative is the 24th at 4:30. And staff I'm making an assumption that you would prefer 4:30, given the choice. Yeah, okay.
But we can make it work.
And I appreciate that willingness. So let me look to the committee. Any downside to moving to the 24th?
no.
No.
I think the staff put in enough late time, not keeping them later.
Yeah.
I would be happy to do that.
Yeah, perfect. So the 24th, does that work?
Yes.
4:30? Excellent. So, the resolution for, it's one resolution, right, with the date and the adjournment?
Yes.
Okay, so let's do it.
Resolved that we do now adjourn at 5:50 PM to meet again on June 24th at 4:30 PM.
Mover and seconder. Emerald's moved, Jamie seconds, all in favor? And that's carried. Thank you so much.